streamed everywhere. Now we've got Facebook up. Now I know what to do with that. Twitch has gone live, but I can't see the chat. And YouTube just will not stream. It's just like every single day, something different. So I'm definitely going to go to something else. Right, YouTube looks like it's picked up live this time. After changing it 3 times, then I have to edit the title as well, I think, every time on YouTube as well. So it's definitely not ideal. So where's the title in this? I've got to wait for YouTube to show up. And again, the chat doesn't integrate properly. So we definitely need a different solution. YouTube. OBS on its own is not the solution for multi-streaming, that's for sure. This ATEM thing is terrible. And it literally says YouTube's live and I can't see it anywhere to edit anything. So I don't think it does somehow. And it says, oh no, must be because now we're getting user accounts, but I've no idea where it's appearing because I can't even get to my own video to see it and edit it. So it's all going good. I don't know. There's people on the YouTube, but I can't even see them. Let's click the vertical for fun as well. See if that works. And then we'll just carry on regardless. I think the most stable one seems to be Facebook this time, but what about TikTok? TikTok was just ridiculous. Every time I went live, it just booted me for a different reason every time. It'd just come up and say, you're selling products. Like we'd start a stream now. I wouldn't even say anything about products, which I don't half the time anyway. And then it'd just literally turn around and say, you've been banned. So I just gave up. It wasn't even worth my time. Right, we are now showing on YouTube. Let's see which one it is. Horizontal, cool. So that's showing. And then, to be honest, I can't even remember what we did with YouTube vertical. Last time it magically worked. This time, I think we had to make a new stream or something. So I'm just not even going to bother with YouTube vertical for now. I think we'll just carry on. We've got Twitch up. We've got YouTube going. And sub chat will appear, but I won't see. Don't expect me to see non-sub chat basically, because it's whether I keep an eye on it or not. Yeah, cool. So it's on. I've got Facebook over here to try and keep an eye on messages on Facebook because I never do at the minute until I finish writing the software. Right, I've got a few hours anyway. I just want to crack on with this. We're just overloaded with work everywhere I turn at the minute, trying to keep everybody happy. Software work, hardware work, repairs. We're honestly just flooded. We haven't caught up since Christmas still. So last night I had a quick go at this. I actually left it plugged in all night. This is a customer's that for some reason I've decided to go much further than I should based on where he's currently paid. And it's got a clean RGB, it's got a clean power, so USB power. And the only issue it came in with was a controller port 2 not working. So the problem we did was we did all the mods, presuming the controller port 2 was going to be nice and simple. I spent probably an hour and a half yesterday diagnosing it. It's had a new full front port. That wasn't the issue. All the EM filters are fine. I got all the oscilloscope out. Could not figure out any issues. There's no trace damage. The resistors are fine. The filters are fine. Turns out it was this chip, which I don't know why I put the heatsink back on it, but this is the customer's chip. And I noticed as well, whether it's a factory mark or pure coincidence, but has a red line on it. And coincidentally, this was the problem. So the VDP is not working on player 2, which was the only thing left realistically because everything else was fine. So a fairly simple thing that shouldn't have been a problem has turned out to be the main heart of the Mega Drive 2 is dead. Now, the customer would have to pay not only for effectively a donor Mega Drive, but the work as well. So I've gone ahead and put this off another Mega Drive, which I got the controller ports off, which I've chucked in the bin here. So maybe, thanks for the 4-month sub. That's pretty much as long as I've been doing it. This is just one I had lying around, so we've robbed the controller ports off it. I robbed this last night. This got the controller ports working, but I obviously did a shit job of soldering. I wasn't using the scope at the time. Just wanted to quickly chuck this on to see if controller port 2 would work. Didn't necessarily try to not put it on right, but I really didn't pay that much attention. It was late and it was going, like I say, a bit beyond where I should have, because the customer's not paid for any of this extra work yet and might well not pay for this new chip, so I might be wasting my time. But let me show you where I got up to. If I go to controller port 1, I guess, pull up HDMI, turn on, that should show, tap for that, turn on, and everything's the same as last night. We should load up, but with corrupt graphics. Oh, so you're going to just show me up. Okay, there you go. See the corrupt graphic. I was going to say it's just fully working, but it's not. So ignore this. This is probably just my shit soldering. But if we load up into the test cart, this wasn't working on controller port 2. So this is almost definitely just, like I say, bad soldering on my part. Controller test. So you can see at the top there, as I'm pressing, I'm probably better, to be honest, being on maybe this one. Like pressing the buttons, you can see all the buttons work. That's just graphics glitches. And importantly, if I unplug this and plug it into this port, it says 2, and you can see controller port 2. So we know that chip was bad, and I'm pretty sure all these graphics glitches are just going to be soldering on this chip. So that's where I'm up to with this one. I could, in theory, leave it, contact the customer first and say, like, do you even want to go ahead? Because obviously it's going to be quite a lot. The Mega Drive itself would have been £30–40 to get the chip off, and then the labour. So considering I'm a nice guy, I'll probably do all the labour for free. But it's whether he wants to pay for that, because obviously he might not want to pay the extra, but we'll see. I'm hoping he would, because he's had all the other work done. So let's just see if I can find faults on my soldering. And I definitely need, I mention this every stream, I need another light in here. Facebook has text to, voice to text. Nice. I pretty much dictate everything myself now when I'm doing all emails and all Discord and everything now. I just dictate. I've got a dictation on this machine as well, I believe. So it definitely picks up my accent pretty well, which I'm surprised at. Yeah, I think we can zoom in more. There we go. I might just have to use the scope on this though, because this is no depth perception for me, so I can't really. Oh, hang on, is that one? No reflection. If I don't spot anything really obvious straight away, I'll just get the scope out properly. More than likely, to be honest, these pins are slightly slanted and off. I'd say it's these, and that's the video RAM. So it's almost definitely going to be this corner. So let me just go under the scope and do that. And I'm not going to bother showing you the scope. Well, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think this view, or do you want me to give you... Hey, welcome in. You want me to give you this view, which is this one. Let me just try and line this up. So I will work probably this way around, and I'll need to be about there. So do you guys want to see this close me working, or do you want me to just show you this so you can just see a bit more of the scene while I'm working? I'm going to guess people are going to say this first, so I'm going to leave it on this one. Get the fume extractor, and let me presume that my issue is these pins. Oh, they're actually soldered pretty well. So put my eye in away a minute. They looked really bad solder. Let's get the dental pick and let's just let's go around and probe. In fact, I need to zoom in a bit more, to be honest. Too many lights anyway. There we go. Oh, I hate that camera. It's so blurry compared to what my eyes see. Like, just not sharp for you guys. But I'm not going to spend any more money on video equipment yet. See, I was that lazy I didn't even clean the flux off. Still on, in fact. Is it easier to pull? So they looked worse than they actually are. Yours is not quite focused, is it? There we go. Maybe zoom out a bit. Yeah, they looked a lot worse than this on the overhead, but they're actually not that bad aligned. But like I say, I soldered this with absolutely no scope last night, so I was completely blind doing this. So I don't think I've actually done that bad, but I am hoping that one of these pins is loose or shorted somewhere. Otherwise, the chip I've put on might also be bad, or this board might be slowly dying a death. And we introduced another problem putting this chip on, because the graphics were fine. It was just, oh, there we go. Look at that. Is that one little blob of solder going to be our only problem? Could well be. We can check out what chip it is as well, what pin it is after. There we go. Look at that. I didn't even use flux. So let's presume that is such a bad camera. See, this one is nicer. We do this and zoom in. Oh, that's the maximum. And focus, and then do a digital zoom. See, I like that view, but it's not good enough for me. It's not like, that's just me looking at a screen. So let's see if that's worked. And then if it does, we'll have a quick look at what pin it was out of curiosity. It'll be useful for others to know. And yeah, this is definitely, it's gone darker on this overhead for sure. Like, I will definitely order a light and get one fitted over the top. Game, HDMI. Sorry, I'm not keeping an eye on chat either at the minute. I'm had a long day. I keep hearing things ping off and then I'm not even looking at the screen. And my does anybody know where the chat thing is in OBS for what I'm sure we've had Twitch chat integrated into this. I'm sure we have, like Twitch chat and Twitch title settings and all that. I'm sure they've just vanished off this display. What OBS plugins for multi-stream? I've got some stream elements overlaying for the screen, like these ping ups are stream elements. The graphics, oh, look at that. One pin caused all that glitching by the looks of it. Yeah, so I've got stream. Actually, I don't know if it's Stream Elements or Stream Labs. I get confused because I don't use them now. But some of these overlays are still one of the two. But I am going to be writing my own software to do all of this anyway. And then the multi-stream is Atom, but it's not good. Like, it's fine when it works, but like right now we're not streaming vertical on YouTube because I can't get the thing working, and it doesn't update the titles, and YouTube takes ages to get going. There's just loads of problems I've found with. Loads of problems I've found with Atom. It needs to be more streamlined. Right, there we go. So controller one. We should probably go to that view. Oh, we are on that view. Why do I keep thinking we're not on the side view? Oh. Up, down. Oh. Wondering why left and right aren't working. I was diagnosing last night. I've figured out a way. This is interesting, by the way. If you want to know this, it's something I need to add to the wiki. I was trying to find a way to test the controller ports were definitely not the problem. And if we go to my wiki, let me just go on a slight adventure here. Pull up the PC. So here's the wiki. Is that full PC? There we go. So nice new wiki. I've wrote all this software as well, by the way. So this is all now my own hosted wiki. I've wrote all of this code. We've got nice little expand and contract. We've got new themes. So if you want, say, the forest theme with a Celebi icon, you can. If you're a sub on YouTube or Twitch, you can also have custom themes. So it's quite flicky into that when you change between them. But my personal favorite is Parchment. Yeah, I definitely did write it when I was asleep as well. So now if I go to, you can use search now. So we just type in, say, Mega Drive Controller. Look at that. Controller interface, Mega Drive. Click it. I've already done all this on a Picoscope, the one you see me using. Figured it all out. We've got to log in because I've limited people abusing my wiki without at least subscribing to the wiki. It's free of charge, but I figured we might as well limit it so people can't just abuse this. You can see right now there's 100 people live online like right now, and we have like 3,500 people have viewed this wiki since I launched it a few days ago. So I have to pay for all the electric and the hosting. This is literally self-hosted now. So yeah, I wrote all this stuff, figured it all out. I don't know when, a good while ago I did all this to reverse engineer what happens. So I know how the controller interface works. And then I was like, right, what can we do to force, if we wanted to check if it was the physical controller or the port, and we wanted to bypass both, and which was my suspicion with this. I was like, how can I quickly and easily, with no controller, like this not plugged in, trick the console into thinking it's got a controller? So it didn't take me long to figure it out because, like I say, I've already wrote the wiki with that info. But if I pulled this up, and I'm going to have to actually plug that back in to get us into the menu. See, this is why my streams, I get no work done. I go on side quests every 5 seconds. Like, we fixed it and now I'm side questing already. Maybe we want to update. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Where the hell has my Twitch stuff in OBS gone? Brain's not functioning today and I've opened OBS. And my buttons to switch cameras are gone. My Twitch chat and everything else is gone. I literally can't find it. So I just give up and I was like, sorry, it's what it is. So I'll update the title after maybe. Or I tell you what, let me just go on yet another side quest and quickly log into Twitch. So yeah, if we go to hardware tests and controllers, and now I unplug, you'll see that goes. So I was like, right, if we don't have a controller, or we think the controller's bad, or the physical port's bad, or stuff like that, what do we do? So here's how you do it now. If you read the wiki, you could figure it out, which is what I did, because obviously when I write the wiki, I forget what I've done by the next day. So what I've done, and you can see here, I've shorted the left and right pins together, and these are the left and right of the controller. That's why we couldn't use left and right just. And if you short the left and right pin to ground, that's how the console detects if there's a controller in, because you can't physically press left and right at the same time. So when it's pulsing through and setting a certain pin up, without going into too much details, it uses this detection logic to know when it's in. So if I just ground that, it's going to not work for me now. Was it oh, so it's the, is it this pin, the select pin? Now you're going to show me up now, aren't you? Oh, there you go. So you ground the left and right pin to the TH pin, which is the select, because what it does is the system outputs, and there you go, it thinks there's a controller to it now. It outputs a logic high on this, and when this is high, the controller sends one of these low and the other one gets pulled low. So without knowing too much, if you short these two pins together, or if you shorted all three together, like this one, and this one, it would constantly think a controller's plugged in. But I just attach a flying lead so I can kind of tap on and force it to think it's connected. So that's the way I was testing. So that was why we couldn't use left and right on the controller, because I've left these little test shorts on from last night. I pretty much got to the point where I chucked that IC on and I'd had enough. And to be honest, I've already had enough today before coming on stream. I'm just not in the mood today. Too many things going on. You can tell by the fact I can't even be bothered to use Flux. There we go, that's off. Let's see if this one works so I can move on to another Mega Drive. Right, flick that one over, plug that in. That wire is now done. So we need to do controller test again. One thing I noticed as well, I don't know whether it's this screen. Let me go to, right, I'm on Twitch. Where do I edit my own Twitchy thing? There, edit, yay. Select all, paste, Mega Drives and mods, done. Right, that's Twitch updated. Let's see if I can get Twitch back into thingy while I'm here as well, back into OBS. Have I not got my chat thing on this? Where's my chat thing gone? Whisper, open up. Have a quick. Yeah, it should pick up that mic. Yeah, cool. In OBS, my Twitch title and chat Docs have disappeared. Where do I re-enable them? I'm getting so lazy with all this dictation stuff. View docs. Yeah, no shit. I'll loop there. Stream info and chat. See, that's the most obvious place in the first place I looped. That's not there. I've OBS screwed something up. Yeah, you got that buzz. That's just this power supply. This my really crappy. I should make a high quality USB power supply thing, to be honest. For can I mute that as well? No, that's actually just coming out. Actually, yeah, that's a point. Why is that not muting when I'm clicking HDMI audio mute? Yeah, I don't care anyway. What was I doing? Too many things. Testing this controller was one of them. I was trying to find the dock in OBS to get my chat back because it's gone. View docs. Yeah, view. Well, for starters, that's the wrong thing. It's not view docs, it's docs. And stats, item. Yeah, it's definitely gone. Reset docs. Now it's going to screw up everything. Oh, the buzzing sound stopped. Are you sure? Because I can hear it. It's basically coming through the TV, and you're just hearing what I'm hearing. Controller test. There you go. So left, right, up, down, A, B, C. And the other test is controller port 2. Up, down, left, right, A, B. Oh yeah, and start. Yeah, cool. All working. So I know this works anyway because I've fully tested this. I don't know how many times. So I need to contact the customer about this one, and we can clean up the flux and everything else after, once we're happy what's going to happen. Because he might want to not pay for the extra, and then I've got to solder the other chip back on and stuff. So this one out the way. You can go on there, you can go on Zach's desk. We can have the fun of finishing this off. And now we have, what do you want to see? Another Mega Drive getting a clean RGB, or do you want to see that Amiga finished off from the other day with it's got to have pretty much just got to have a recap and some RAM installed? Let me know which you want to see. Right, so let me try and figure out where the hell this dock is. Now I'm not going crazy as well. There is definitely a dock in OBS typically for like Twitch chat built into OBS, isn't there? I'm not going nuts because I cannot find it. I don't want to reset all the views, and I can't find it in the drop down either. It's just disappeared on me today. Scenes, sources, transitions, control, stats. Let's just put stats on. It's definitely not that. Not that you know of. Maybe I am going crazy. I'm sure there is. Oh, hang on. Is it 8? No, it can't be. 8M multi-stream. Vertical source. See, if it wasn't, it was 8M multi. Nah, it definitely was. Have we just not had chat this entire time since I've moved to OBS? And it's just... No, we definitely did. Because we had stream title and stuff. I'm definitely missing panels that I don't know where they've gone. There was 100% panels for Twitch title, setting the title. And I know something's gone because my docs disappeared for something else. So sorry, I've got sub chat up, so that's what we're getting for today, and at least we're here. So I'll just have to leave all the chats open. I'm just gonna have to. I really need to finish that stream chat thing I was making. Collapse stream chat. Can I not pop out the chat on Twitch's website either? I know you can on YouTube. Show more icons, pause chat, chat highlights, shield mode. Boo, 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 view live, recent request. I literally can't find a pop out button either. Blame Rusty. No, Rusty's waiting for me. He's been crying and he didn't bother coming on stream because he's whinging for an early finish today. Right, no, so I can't find that. YouTube is, again, sub-only chat that should appear. So, sorry, I'll just open this window as well. Yeah, to be honest, there's no other chat on YouTube but a sub, so I can close that down. That's fine. Facebook. Class stream, love your work, thank you very much. Yeah, you can send a SNES in. I'd recommend clean RGB and then run it through an OSSC is what I'd do. That'll get you HDMI and clean up all the video. It's good that Twitch got sub-only chat when you can't see it. Yeah. No, sub chat in Twitch actually does come through, luckily. As anybody mentioned, I haven't spotted chat. Do we want to see Mega Drive with a clean RGB mod, or do we want to see Amiga 1200 getting a recap and RAM? Considering I've got the Mega Drive stuff out, we probably just want to get the Mega Drive one out of the way. And I knew that was going to happen. Amiga. Tough shit. We'll try and get what time then? 4 o'clock. No, we're not going to have time to do both. Okay, let's jump on Amiga. I'll move the Mega Drive stuff out of the way. Oh, and that, you remember the other Mega Drive I did with the clean RGB on the last stream, and I thought I was blaming Mac because the video was dark. It was partially a problem with Mac. I was also soldering the complete wrong resistors, so that was the real problem. I'd changed the output resistors, not the input, so we were getting a massive DC cutoff, cutting off the lower part of the video. That's why it was so dark, even though it was bright. So I need to remember to not do that on the next one. Let's get this big Amiga out the way. So much fucking work. It's a big power supply. Right, so I better check this still works. We have RGB cable. So this was the problem with the Gary chip that we swapped. Yeah, the 1200 over Christmas, which is the video one. The one by the video, I presume. Yeah, over Christmas, I had about 3 or 4 1200s in stock. Over Christmas, everybody brought all of them. Then we'd sold 2 more. Then we've sold this one. It's like 1200s have gone crazy. And then I'm sitting on, well, I was sitting on a load of 500 and 600s, but I've given some away, and I've actually used one in a repair that you didn't see as well. So I've got an ST as well. I brought for myself that I haven't had time to play with. I haven't really done much on the Amigas for a while. There we go. So this is still working, which is good. Problem was the Gary customer's happy to pay. Now he needs the RAM upgrade. So the RAM is down here, bottom corner. So I'm pretty sure if anybody wants to research this while I'm doing it, that'd be cool. I know you just desolder these, chuck the RAM chips in, but I'm sure there's something with JP2 or another jumper that we have to do to tell it that there's extra RAM on. I can't remember because I do too many things and I forget everything all the time. And I didn't write it on my wiki, I don't think, so we should probably do it on the wiki. But let's start with the RAM upgrade and then do the recap maybe. And I think I've got these RAM chips. 64256. Let's see. If not, I'll have to go and get an Amiga to rob it off. 64. I'm sure I have. Now I've got 41256. I'm sure I brought some for upgrades. Anybody want to search if they are even the same chip? I'm guessing no, because they're not the right size. That's not the ones. Nope. So maybe they're the ones I'm thinking of. Or maybe there's others. Oh yeah, and I've noticed on the Facebook stream, I don't know if it's this monitor, I look really washed out. Like on this screen, the one I'm looking at, I'm like nicely exposed and sort of orangey. Yeah, it's the monitors, to be honest. Move it back and forward. Yeah, so I've got two screens. One's color calibrated, which is the big one, and I look properly colored like a normal human being. Whereas on the other monitor, I look like I've got jaundice. So what's your opinion? Do I look jaundice or normal? And then I'll know which monitor's wrong. Well, let's see if I can find this RAM. I'm sure I've got this RAM. I'm positive I have. That's the one. Is this the one? See, the problem is, I'm sure I chucked it in a bag with other stuff and didn't label it. In fact, let me quickly search as well, so I'm not looking blind. I think the RAD 2X cable, yeah, I've got one myself. It's just the RGB to HDMI one, I think. And yeah, it's pretty good. I haven't used it in a while though, because I've done clean RGB instead. You look a bit pale from here. Right, and we need to cut the trace between the two pads on JP. That's going to be a 2 with the shift still holding, and jump the middle pad to the left-hand pad instead. Left-hand pad. Yeah, we'll come to that. You can point me in the right direction when we get to that bit. Let me just search for this a second. Alternate part numbers for ALH64256 RAM. Because I'm sure there's a bunch of common alternatives. 44256. So they all end 25. No, they all start with. No, they don't. Yeah, none of them ring a bell. So it will definitely be 64256 if I've got it. Which I'm guessing is in here of anywhere. I've just got the vague memory I've definitely got chips. Here we go. Some random chips and keyboard springs, and bet you these are it. Oh no, these are PALs, these are GEL chips. Well, oh, I thought I was on something. Nope, they're programmable logic. One more place I can check and then I mustn't have them. Which means I've got to rob them off an actual machine. I swear I had these RAM chips though. Literally for this reason. To see, I've got 61464. Loads of them here. I don't think any of these are RAM. Logic chips. Logic chips. Nope, don't think I've got them. Amiga tubs maybe. Last hope. Batteries, those. Pie stores. BIOSes. Everything but RAM chips. Sockets. Nope, I'm going to have to grab another Amiga, I think. I've only just taken them down as well. But one thing I did notice is having the switchless. You'll be interested in this as well, Big Bro. This is the switchless mod for when you want to use the Gotek externally, but as an internal drive. I think you mentioned about that before. I think this is the right one, yeah, so the Amiga 500. This is by Amiga Kit. And basically we swapped the even CIA, I think it is, going off the top of my head. You can plug this in, passes through, and then this little PIC chip just intercepts the keyboard presses. You can hold like command and something else for a few seconds. I think it's Amiga command, or command Amiga, whichever one it is. And it'll beep once or twice, and then that toggles the DF pin on the CIA to tell the external floppy to act as an internal and the internal to act as an external. So it allows you to have your original floppy drive, but then use a Gotek to load floppies as if it's on the inside, but off ADFs. So the customer's having this as well, and it works wicked. So I'll keep that. And we'll just do the recap for now then. I can't be bothered going to fetch the Amiga at the minute, just to find that RAM. So let's change tact and swap these caps out. I've literally taken the caps down like yesterday as well. And I still swear I've got them. I'm still going to have a think as I'm staring around the room. I'm sure I've got them RAMs. Right, so we can get rid of that off the screen. We don't need that for now. We can go up the corner. And let's go to some of these. Yeah, DS Zevo switch. It's a switchless mod as well. So let's start with this cap. Oh, we zoomed out enough. Yeah, that's as far as we can go anyway. Hey, afternoon, welcome in. I'm basically fumbling around doing random stuff constantly on this stream and changing my mind every 2 seconds about what we're doing. So we're now on a recap. We've gone from doing a Mega Drive to doing a recap on an Amiga when we were about to do a memory upgrade. My solder as well. Last night the solder come out of its little spindle and snapped, and then I think I just rage quit at that point and went to the living room with Rusty. There we go, fix that. When did I start Retro 6? I think about 7 years ago now. It's felt like about 3 or 4 years, but the only reason I know is I opened up 3 physical stores doing stuff, and I opened them for about 3 years, maybe 4 years. I think it was like 3 years. And I know I ran the business a few years before that, so it's like by the time you add up all the years, I think we've been going like 7 years, which is crazy. These are 100 UF, so we can flip around. I'm just going to do one at a time on these caps as well. Shall we sidetrack again as well and show you the Game Gear Studio I'm making? Or shall I do a bit of work first? Probably should do some work. I keep complaining I'm overly busy and then keep going off track. Why did I make the store? To be honest, I've always wanted a store since like I was a kid and went there, like the local markets. Like we've got one now that's dreadful and just either closed down or full of druggies, to be honest. But we've got like a, you know, the old-fashioned markets, nice, cheap. As a kid, you go there and buy shoes and games and fruit and veg and stuff like that. We've got one in a local place called Hanley that's now absolutely just unbelievably bad. But I used to go there every weekend, and there was a guy in. Funny story actually, there was a guy in there, and this might have been part of the reason I started it. He had a retro store, and I remember going down when I had like the Mega Drive, and I think it was Shinobi that we brought. I used to basically go. We couldn't go very often because we didn't have much money, but when we'd go for like a new game, we used to go to the market, like Hanley Market, and they'd import games sometimes. But I can distinctly remember buying. No, it wasn't Mega Drive. It was Master System because the black and, you know, like the black checkerboard on white background. I remember buying Shinobi, I think it was, on the Master System, and trading the other games in for it, and then you'd have to play that game for about 3 months until you were allowed to trade it in for another. So you really had to, even if the game was bad, you had to learn to enjoy it. And the market where I used to go to buy them was obviously like the game. At the time, it wasn't retro gaming, that was the modern console. But now it's classed as retro. As I got older, I always kind of wanted to have a store. I always thought it'd be cool to just run a physical store. And I loved running it, but I wouldn't do it again. It's like I've done it now. I had a store, but I think profit-wise, I don't think it's the right time to have a brick and mortar store at the minute. I'm gonna maybe hot air these off. So I think I really ultimately just wanted a store because I got back into gaming a bit, and then as an adult I'd got the money and the capabilities to open a store, and I kind of wanted to be that little retro store that I remember as a kid. But again, the problem is we have our town is pretty run down and shit, so it's the wrong place to open a store. I thought it looked amazing. Like, we had a toy store, which was the best looking by far, like by a mile. And I imported everything. I imported clothes, like official Pokemon clothes, plushies, cards. We stocked Magic. So I had like just a toy store. We tried a few things in there. We had this store, the retro store. So we were doing all the retro repairs. People could walk in. And then we had a printing business. So because we do all the custom printed shells already for like the Game Boy, we figured we'd just open like a printing business, and I just called it Printy, and that did really well. Printing t-shirts, mugs, caps, photos, all sorts. But then we're a small business, mostly family run, and trying to I don't need clearly also doing ceramics. Trying to run all three of them, as well as run the retro that's already busy, and not have too many staff. I was pulled in too many directions, and the physical stores were that expensive to rent because we pretty much got robbed with the rent. So they were just breaking even. Like, the physical stores didn't really make money as such. They didn't lose money, they just didn't make any, so it was just a waste of time. So all I was doing is losing my time. So yeah, I did it, and I'm glad I've done it and I enjoyed it, but I don't think now is the time or the place for physical stores at the minute. I think it'll have a resurgence, but yeah, I don't think it's the time for it at the minute. Some people do really well. I don't think a small town in Stoke doing a retro business is, however, that profitable, I'm afraid. Where's the hundreds? There we go. Yeah, I definitely had a chat thing in here. Oh yeah, I go every retro store wherever we go. I'll always find the retro stores and go in and browse and buy stuff, even if I don't need it. I love the kind of. I just love buying stuff that's retro. And then we have as well, after this, we have a Neo Geo coming up, but I'll be away for a few days next week, so we won't be. We'll probably see that maybe next weekend in Neo Geo. The 6 is just, I've got another business called Angel 6, so if you check that out, that's my software company I've had since I was like 10 years old. And Retro 6 just blended in because I'd already got a company called Angel 6. That's 2 caps off. I'm not going to keep these caps. I'd normally keep these caps and send them back to the customer so they know, you're not lying, but when I live stream, people see me doing the work, so if they question that work, I can always point them to the streams. They don't need to get a bag of random caps and be confused why I've sent them some dirty old caps. Oh yeah, see, you can guarantee the one time we don't send the customer a bag of caps, they say, have you really done the recap? Like, nah mate, we just lied. And then when you send them a bag of caps, they're like, I've got this strange bag of things, did you mean send it? It looks like you've sent me some rubbish. It's like, you can't win. So maybe I should do a note if I'm just going to send them a bag of caps and say, these are the removed capacitors. Maybe that's the answer. I think you just presume if somebody's sending a console in and they select to have a recap, they know what caps are, but you'll have a surprising amount of people that have no idea what the recap even is. They just go on the site and select every option. They just want to, have all the best, if you will. So, never underestimate what somebody will spend on a console they want restored. You don't necessarily need to know what it is. This feels like this one's going to bang on me. I'm going to twist him off of me. These pads are quite stable, and I don't trust this. I've just got a sense of timing and, I don't know, just call it intuition that one was going to explode on me. Just didn't feel like it was coming out in time. Oh, that's why. Because that was like hooked on. So it was probably loose a while ago. Right then. 100 and... that's the only one I've removed, isn't it? I suppose we better do that one now. Oh yeah, if you had the caps bang on you, you certainly remember it. To be honest, some of them aren't that bad, but the larger the cap, the larger the bang, let's say. And that one just felt like, I don't know, it's literally, it's that like any skill, I think. Same with soldering, a lot of it's based on time and experience, you kind of know and feel. And that one just felt like it was going to explode. I'd got a feeling that it wasn't coming off quick enough and that cap was getting critical. Yeah, with Macs I've gone, well, you can ask the kids and anybody else that knows me, is I'll try anything from Apple pretty much most years, but I normally buy everything from Apple and then the kids end up with it 2 weeks later because it's still shit. Whereas this time, for the first time in about 5 years, the iPhone has just about managed to survive. I still don't think it's the best, but it's usable. But I ended up trying out the Macs as well, and then the new iMac Studio, not the iMac Studios, the new Mac Studios are actually decent now, finally. So that's it now, I've gone all in on Mac again, and all the machines are Mac, the phone's an iPhone, the headphones are the Apple stuff. It's kind of, I'll get into the ecosystem once I've got, once I know the good again, I'll go fully back into the ecosystem. But yeah, there's some things are still bad from Apple. They always will be, and there's limits to them. But overall, I'm quite happy at the minute with the new Mac stuff I've got. The Ultra, well, these studios are insane. I will say that they're absolutely ridiculous for a computer in terms of speed, especially for video editing at the minute. And they're normally not. They're normally just all talk and like, you know what I mean, like all sales pitchy, whereas the computers are genuinely good at the minute. Not so sure I don't think the Neos of much use. That's definitely just flogging old iPhone stuff. I think the 16 was one of the worst selling iPhones in history, wasn't it? So they've obviously overmade them chips and gone, I know, let's make a laptop so we can clear off the old stock. And then obviously do the Apple thing of marketing it like it's what was it that somebody said as well? It was only 3 or 4 years ago. I'm sure Tim Cook said something like, why would you need a laptop with less than 16 gig of RAM? And then they've released the Neo with a maximum 8 gig. It's like the usual back step. When they need to sell something, it's always okay. But when they need to compete with something, they try and come up with every reason why it's not needed. But you can't knock them for trying anyway. Right, they're 22s. And this one is a 10. Yeah, so those hundreds are no good then. Yeah, to be honest, a Neo for the biggest problem with them is they really won't be that good for a lot of stuff. So they'll be really good if the RAM is enough to do what you need to do, because the current Mac silicon is genuinely good. So they are probably going to be good, but if the RAM isn't enough, then you're stuck. Like, you know, there's nowhere left to go. Plus, you're paying Apple tax because there are absolutely better laptops for the money. But saying that, I don't think there's a better battery life laptop for the money. Because that's the one thing I think is crazy good with Apple's laptops, and always has been, even when everything from them has been shit, the battery life on their laptops has always been good compared to Windows, because, you know, the whole Intel versus ARM stuff, Intel draw way more power. But now Windows are actually on ARM for the most part. They can start competing on the battery front, but yeah, Apple are years in front in terms of battery life on laptops. Like, I sit on the MacBook at night carrying on coding, and I can sit there all night from 6 till midnight coding, and it doesn't run out of battery. Whereas try that on any Windows laptop, and you're plugging it in after an hour. You're not getting past the hour mark. Well, maybe 2 hour mark, I'd say, on a laptop when you're working and coding without it running out of battery. So that's them three. Yeah, I can't believe I spent all that time correcting my cameras to look perfect, and I've done it on an LG TV, and then now I've got a monitor on the side. I look jaundiced. It's like I'm gonna have to redo all that LUT stuff on this machine. Am I literally like, do I look washed out and I'd say almost yellow on your screens? Because it's a shame I can't do like a profile on this LG TV that matches perfectly. I tried. That's what, this hair's huge. Wrong side. Camera's flipped. Yeah, I've got to get this haircut tomorrow. It's getting massive. Slightly yellow. Yeah, I'd say I'm probably going to look like exactly what I look like on my other screen over here. That's the one thing I always thought with color calibrating stuff as well. It was one of them things. Why do people color calibrate the screen when every other non-calibrated device on the face of the planet that people consume the content on aren't color calibrated? So I fell back into that trap because I've got all the equipment for it. That I color calibrated this LG TV using the X-Rite color calibrator stuff, and it looks perfect for me, but then everybody watching it looks wrong, if you know what I mean. So it's one of them. Why'd you color calibrate it? Doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's definitely on that, and so it's crazy. So I'll update it the next time I stream, and you'll see how, like, what I see. I've been seeing like really nice, clear, color corrected footage, and you guys have been looking at proper washed out footage. I really want to go and correct that now as well, but we'll end up getting no work done at this rate otherwise. Look on Discord, just pop it me on Signal if you want. I've got Signal open with your message on. I'll be able to see it then. Oh yeah, audio. I presume the audio is pretty good as well. I've done audio stuff for a good while. I'm going to cut them off as well, next to plastic. I'll cut and lift the pins out after. Actually, to be honest, I don't know why I'm hot airing them off. You can, if you're putting SMDs on, you can literally cut them off if you can get access to them and solder. It just feels wrong. Just cutting the caps off and leaving the legs in, it's something that just doesn't feel right. 47, but I'm going to do it next to this chip anyway. 10 and 100. So we've got the 100, 47 and 10. Yeah, I think to be honest, audio, I don't know, it's one of them again. Some people say audio is more important than video. I personally think audio is definitely more important than video in one way, because, as I know, when I accidentally record stuff that I double record a mic, say I've changed equipment and it's decided to pick up my webcam's mic or HDMI input as well as like the proper Rode mic, if you get double audio or even just clipped audio, your content's unwatchable. Whereas good audio with shit video, people can still watch, especially if like your content's good. So I think audio is far more important. But I've tried all sorts of audio. But I think I've got the overall profile and setups down to a T. Hang on, I'll put that on the wrong one now. I'm doing the usual, chatting and not paying attention to what I'm doing. You come off, you'll then be over here. The one thing I will say though, I've got microphones, as I'm sure you've got no surprise. I've got microphones worth like £3,000 and I've got microphones worth £100. And honestly, I think if you do them correctly, I honestly cannot tell the difference between a mic that's like £150 say and £1,000 if you do it right. So I have the some really expensive Sennheiser little baby mic. It's like this big, and I'm sure it cost £3,500 or something ridiculous when I was doing my whole buying the best equipment in the world for AV. And I've compared that to what is now this one's just an Elgato mic. And in the other room I've got a Rode, so I'm not even using the expensive stuff I've got. I honestly find that if you've got the setup right and you're not really doing a podcast type thing and you're not a singer, who I'm sure have got better ears than I have for appreciating the details, for doing stuff what we're doing, you don't need to spend your money on anything more. But I'll always love to, I'll always still buy expensive stuff to try out. Sometimes you do find stuff that's just simply better. But majority of the time, well, saying that, look at the cameras. The cameras are the perfect proof that good glass and good lenses can't be beat. Like, you cannot get sharper, realistically, than this face cam and this overhead. Everyone always says it, the streams are ridiculously sharp. And that is purely, like we said, perfect proof. This is the same camera with a non-cinema lens, and look at this, look how shit that quality is. As I come on stream, I'm like, that's like a phone camera. It's passing through a Blackmagic, and then exactly the same camera, different lens. Like, and that's not even fully in focus, I don't think. So like, you go between the two, and there's just no comparison. So that detail that you can see, that is the same camera. That is the same camera with my constant single grey eyebrow that I always see. I'm going to have to dye him. And then that is the same camera. Like, they're all the same camera, different glass. And look at the quality. It's just ridiculous. Like, that camera. Like, well, if it's in focus range, whatever the head is, but you get the idea. The difference in glass, and this isn't cheap glass either. But it's just ridiculous, though, how much if you pay for good lenses, you still have to have a good sensor though. So Blackmagic sensors are crazy. Like, for the money, Blackmagic sensors cannot be beat. I've had loads of cameras, and I will stand by the fact that £1,000 Blackmagic pocket cinema camera will outperform anything of that value in any industry. It's just unreal. Actually, Shure, that's what I've got. I should probably find it out. I think it's a Shure mic, you know, not a Sennheiser, or is it? I don't know, I'm gonna have to find it now. Let me see if I can quickly find the mic, just in a random cupboard down here. There he is, just in a tub of bits on the floor. I think this is the expensive one, Sennheiser. So I don't know if this is the really expensive one. I've got a feeling I've got another one, but don't know. MZ, see a bit of tape on face. So I've got like 3 of these. I had to buy one for each camera. I don't know. Let me know what the price of that thing is. MKH8040 or MZX8000, I don't know. But this thing is like, this was one of the really good ones. I don't think it's the super expensive one. I think it's the second one down, but I still think that's quite expensive. And it's just like in a dump in a drawer somewhere. Right, that one we removed. Yeah, red camera. See, I never owned a red camera, but I know they are known to be good, but at the same time, they're also known to overheat. I've watched, how would you say his name? I always forget, MKBHD. I've watched him for years. He's really into his video quality and production and stuff. And he ran the red cameras when I was contemplating buying them, but he was having like overheating issues and stuff. Yeah, slow-mo guys, I watched them before they were popular. And they moved to America now, haven't they, I think? We always used to watch them. But yeah, I literally watched them from pretty much one of the first videos they ever posted. And then saw them just obviously grow bigger and bigger. And I'm pretty sure they're quite popular. Well, they are popular now, they're like millions of views, and obviously they moved to America to work with other creators and stuff. One of the few people in the UK to actually get some attention. Yeah, so maybe that is the expensive one. Maybe when I brought it, it was like 3.5. The only reason I know is, and I probably won't surprise you, but I brought it and I had to get it imported from somewhere like Germany. And I brought a bunch of other stuff as I did, just buying things, and I literally forgot I'd brought it. I think 2 days later, I had a phone call from the bank. We just need to confirm what you've spent, and I'm sure it was 3,600 quid. They're like, we just need to confirm what you just spent 3,000 some £100 on. And I was like, well, yeah, can you tell me where it's from? Well, no, it's a security check. You need to tell us what you spent money on. I was like, well, I can't remember, to be honest. I was like, let me see if I can find emails. And I'm like, I can't find any emails with that value. It's like, it's ringing a bell. And they were just like, you can't remember what you spent £3,500 on 2 days ago. I'm like, no, I genuinely can't. And I don't know whether they had to hold the money or... I know I couldn't figure out what I'd spent the money on, put it that way, and I totally forgot I'd brought it. And I don't know whether I managed to... Ooh, ripping a bloody trace there. I'm going to have to fix that. Yeah, torn the trace up. Let's fix him. We've got 22. Somehow I figured it out, and then I forgot that I'd even ordered it because I couldn't remember on the phone what I'd spent the money on. And then about 8 weeks later, this microphone turned up, and I was like, that was it. That was when I spent the money. I just completely forgot. It was one of them purchases where I think I'd done the research that night, figured out what I wanted, brought it, and then just completely forgot everything about it. Right, let's fix up this dodgy trace because I wasn't paying attention. That's an easy one, luckily. Yeah, that's why I don't normally do the soldering iron. I normally do hot air, but I'm in an area where there's a bit of plastic around, so I don't want to really melt this or this, so I'm resorting to soldering iron, which isn't pumping enough heat through. Where's the scalpel? Yeah, I think the reason I brought it was I'd got... it was in this room. I think if you watch the Angel 6 soldering video on YouTube, you'll see this room where it's practically empty. And it was when I had a Blackmagic Ursa, I think they're called, like the proper run and gun filming a documentary kind of cameras. And it was physically away from me, zoomed in with actually I'm not even using that lens. I've got like a really zoomy cinema lens. So I needed a mic that I didn't want a boom coming over because it was quite a zoomed out shot. So I think that one is like a shotgun. I don't know if it's a shot. I think it is a shotgun mic. You'd have to let me know. And that was the only one I could find. I'd gone from condenser mics that are really clear to shotgun mics that had no body to them, because obviously you're in a different league when you do shotgun mics. So that was the only shotgun mic I could find that was actually decent. That wire is too small to use my clippers. I'm going to have to use this. Grado Labs SR80s. Never heard of them, to be honest. Yeah, shotgun mile, that makes sense. It's scary to think how much stuff I've just got in cupboards. I nearly brought. Oh, that was right as well. When I got this camera, the side camera. I don't know if I said before, but I nearly brought another Blackmagic 6K because I've got one above, I've got one over there, and I've got one in the other room. No, the one in the other room's a studio. But I went to buy one, and I was like, oh, I need that camera, and then I just happened to go in the server room, and I got one on the floor that I just forgot I'd still got. So I saved myself like $1,000 that day because I looked in the cupboard. In fact, I'm going to strip this wire further back. Yeah, 6K rusty cam. Let's just solder this on and cut the trace after. Which way can this go? This is awkward. These boards are so long. There we go. The Simpsons. Just checking out the. Forgot I've got Facebook comments open. Nest without audio. Tried recap. Didn't fix the issue. I've got quite a lot of things on my TikTok that I don't really post on anymore. About fixing audio. Basically, you use. Where is it? I think I've shown it off on TikTok a few times. Basically, get one of these portable. Jeez, we're zoomed in. Portable 3.5mm speaker. Get a 3.5mm wire that you can extend out and plug in like this. So, get. In fact, why don't I just go to this cameraman? So you plug that in. This is like a 3.5mm to RCA jack. Plug that into your speaker. Turn the speaker on. Solder wires to the RCA, so the outside is ground, the inside is your noise. And then if you just turned on, was this flat? This flat battery. Charge it. You can basically probe around your circuit then, listening for sound, and where it then fails. That's the best way to diagnose audio. Pretty sure I invented this technique and showed it off, but now I'm sure plenty of people will. So now you've got that in, you can basically touch around the board, you know, until you hear audio coming out. That's kind of the technique for fixing any audio. It's much easier to listen to audio than it is to probe and even look at it on an oscilloscope. I've got an issue with speakers at the minute in my other room as well, and static. I'm running the Adams at the minute. I've got some other monitors, but I can't remember what they are. But I went to when I needed more, because I've got multiple rooms. I went to Adam A7s, is it? A7s or A8s. But the left speaker's got a constant wind sound on it every now and then, and I'm pretty sure it's a grounding issue on the mains plug, because even if you don't have any audio plugged in, I get like a wind noise on it, and as far as I can tell, that's related to earth leakage and the way that it does the balanced audio. It's a sign that I've got a bad earth in that room, and the fact I get massive electrical shocks regularly kind of points to that as well. So that's me thought on them, bro. I wonder if anyone's actually had that same issue. And I've even it's going through a DAC as well, so it's not like it's set up wrong. It's balanced audio into the DAC, but I'm still getting like just a constant wind noise out of one of them, and it comes and goes as well. It's well annoying. And I don't think it's just linked to that one speaker either, because I've got the other brand, and I've got, I think, 3 lots of those Adams as well. I've got the A5s, the A7s, and they all do the same thing. So it's definitely my electrical supply that's the problem. Right, that's my balls up fixed. Now let's try to pay a bit more attention. And we've got one over here. Where are we? Where's my hand? Up here. There we go. zoomed in way too much. And this one we can hot air off because yeah, we can. You can see this cap can be fragile, but I'll tell you what, I wonder if, have we ever tried this before? I think we have, haven't we? Using the micro hot air to remove the caps, I don't think really works. No, I haven't run the power condition. My dad's actually a Sparky, so I asked him the other day finally, and he thinks similar thing. Well, to be honest, he says the chair doesn't help. What you've probably got is massive static in your body that's actually finding its way back through the floor, up the table, and into the speakers. As what you'd say is, oh, that wouldn't happen kind of thing. He reckons it might well just be static and it's just coming through the body, because every time I stand up and touch stuff, I get massive belts. So it might well just be static, but yeah, I'm going to try something. Hey, that actually works. I swear we've done this before and it didn't work. But yeah, this house, when we moved in, we had, there was like a building outside that we've now since expanded, but it was just like a shed type thing. And when we went in, I think one of the light switches was acting funky. 22 micro. And I had a Sparky in to rewire it. And he says, I don't know how to explain it to you. He says, but you've got halfway through the electrics, the earth, the live and the neutral flip around. And we had half of the extension wired where live was neutral, neutral was live. And then back in the house, we had the old aerials, so your old antennas, where I got 400 volts coming through my antenna. I kept getting a zap touching this blank antenna, socket on the wall where you can plug in the old antennas. I don't know why the house had that in this day and age. But I remember touching it and getting a massive shock. So I got my multimeter out, measured it, and I got 400 volts coming through just a normal antenna. So on top of having live and neutral backwards, we also had antennas that had mains on them. And the best we could figure out is when they've clipped the wires, the antennas inside the plasterboard, I think they've nailed through and basically cut through a live cable with the nail, and then it's travelled all the way down the antenna and out the wall. So yeah, we've had some, for a big house, we've had some pretty bad issues with it. Right, this big one. Oh, when I keep saying my nose is itchy when I'm on stream. Turns out I'm just getting old. I've got nose hair. So when I was talking, I was itching my nose. So I was like, what the hell? You have no nose hair till you're 35 plus, and then get to the late 30s and all of a sudden everything starts going hairy. So I figured it out the other day. When I'm not on camera, I pretty much sit in silence on my own. When I go on stream, I start talking, and I was like, why have I got an itchy nose all the time? And I keep doing this. Literally nose hair. I'm like, wow. If there's a sign you're getting old, it's that you got an itchy nose when you're talking. Right, this one I doubt is going to come out with hot air because it's a big cap. So, well, it would come out with hot air, but not the micro. So I'm just going to try this technique. Bridging over with plenty of solder. And I didn't plan this one through. I can't grab it the other side. I wonder if I can just knock it. Nope. Let me try and grab and pull. Again, this is why I don't like doing this technique as well, because oh, you've got a right blurry camera there. When you're warming up from one side, you'll find as it warms up this side and you're pulling it out from the other side, the other layer on the other side of the board, these traces cool down when you often, when you're warming from the underside and lifting from this side. As it lifts out, this side's cooler and it can catch and pull, basically what I did on this one over here. That's pretty much what happened there, but not for the same reason, but that's what would happen. Right, this one I'm going to have to clear the holes because it's a 470. Where are my other caps? out on the floor because I've done the normal thing, moved everything I use regularly nice and close, so I didn't have to look in the back, and then I still looked in the back. 470. Let's get this one on. So clearing this hole. What technique today for that hole? These are quite thick ground planes, so let's see if we can clear them out with this. Unless we normally turn up when we're doing this. So micro hot air. Go over the hole. And then when we see it go liquidous, we tap on. Oh. And we nearly delaminated the board. Having some good luck on this one. That cleared the hole. Then positive is that side. Go in there. There's the splatter that blows out the other side. It's almost turning into a how not to recap a board, this is. I need to pay a bit more attention. There we go. I hope that one isn't too tall as well to close down. I didn't pay attention to that either. The original one was shallower than that. That's a big tall cap. I'm going to put a smaller one on. We've gone with it. Yeah, that's. I think that is going to be too high. Do as I say, not as I do. This is definitely. Is it that one and that one? Luckily now this has got leaded solder on, so should come out much easier. There we go, and I'm probably just going to warm up the pins and slide them through, to be honest, to get this one in, because now it's leaded solder. I can probably just warm this up and glide it through, save clearing the holes again, because that PCB is a bit fragile now. I've put a bit too much hot air on it, so I'm just going to warm the pin up like this, find the first one, slide it so far, then warm this one up, slide it in, and basically left and right it to get it in. Out, hot. There's my tweezers. There we go. So in, kind of like walking it in basically. So now it's halfway in there. We'll come to this side. Make sure there's plenty of solder on here, and then we'll just kind of gently apply pressure from underneath while we warm up these pads. How hot. And that's how you get a cap in lazily. Ooh, that cap's hot. No, I never knew the caps actually got that hot when you're soldering. You try to push it through your finger while you're soldering, the actual tin can of the cap gets quite hot. I wouldn't have thought that from warming up the legs. Right, there we go. The correct out, hot. Everything's hot. The correct size cap. Or the correct height cap, rather. So now that's better. Much lower down. That's what we want. And now the two giant caps. Really? 3,300 microfarad, that is overkill. 3,300. Right, I've got to find. I've literally got a tub that says big caps for this reason. There we go. Big ones. And perfect height, exactly the same height. So that's what we want there. Same height, brand new. Getting these off, definitely going to be hot air from underneath, I reckon. So probably back to that cam. Don't need that a minute. What can we use to rest this up? I'm really regretting taking down that gripper thing I put up there and then took down for some reason and never put back up. Hang on, I've got some board things, haven't I? Got these. Maybe at least use that. Sometimes I forget what I buy. And then that can go there. That's it. So now we have a board that kind of floats, or not. There we go. Now we have a board that floats. And I can get my hot air under there. And I can lift with grippers. And then while this is off, we'll probably just slide this one through. So I think we'll lift this one out and then slide this one through while it's warm. Just do it in one go. And we don't want this one to go bang. Hot air notes at 400 now. I think partially because this new hot air is definitely better than the old one anyway. It definitely outputs more stable power. And while that's in, let's try to get this through. Hey, look at that. Ta-da! Perfect. And then I will solder that in a minute. Let's try and do this one at the same time. For the SMDs, I've got different sizes. I've got a couple of kits basically. It's mainly the voltage. I just make sure I put the voltage in that's high enough to support the system it's going in, and that'll make the size different. do a bit of heat on the top as well, just to make sure the heat spreads evenly, top and bottom. This one must have a thick plane on one side. This one's taking its time. It's also got a dent in as well, like a big dent in this cap. So, while it's still warm, there we go. Yeah, one of these caps is, I noticed it at the start, it's actually indented as opposed, there's the camera, probably too high up, show you on this one, it'll be boiling, focus on that, not quite, yeah, look at the, so it's indented, like as opposed to expanded. I don't know whether somebody's like pushed on that or done what, but yeah, that one's like indented. That's everything. I just need to solder them two in, and that's the recap done. That's it. Done. Yeah, I'll probably just do that by mistake anyway. It's been a good while since I've blown a cap up, but it's normally as soon as I say that is when I'll do it. Right, so that's, yeah, it's definitely all the caps done. And then I'll just clear these holes for now, and then I'll fetch an Amiga tomorrow. I can't be bothered to go hunting for another Amiga at this time of night and doing all that. We'll just clear the holes ready, and I'll call it a day for now. And then I'll wrap this one up afterwards, and I can do the Mega Drive probably tomorrow. Right, let's go over here then, pull focus, and we just want to clear these holes. So considering we almost delaminated part of the board above this, that's a sign this board is probably quite trapped with moisture. So even though the hot air, micro hot air will probably work here, I'm just going to have a go with good old desolder wick, which is like my least favourite way of cleaning holes, but let's give it a go. And to be honest, probably pre-warming the board with hot air is a good shout at the minute, and soaking these in the flux. So I've got a couple of them all soaking in flux. I'm just going to preheat this board in general before we start work. And this will help then when we go to the iron, that the whole board isn't cold. Something randomly falling over behind me. Let's go for that. See, this is why I don't like desolder wick. One, you'll use so much of it clearing holes. And two, I just don't find it works. So I think I'm going to go to my micro. Let's go. Maybe just turn this, either turn the temp down a bit or just go quicker. Let's try a look at this. Oh no, you see, it's going to try and delaminate each time. Let's maybe try temperature down a bit. Let's go right down to like 350. I mean, it's not the end of the world, it just looks ugly. You don't really want to be putting bubbles in the middle of the board. Yeah, it's just not. I don't know, we'll try one more. That one's gone through, it's just this one here. That one's stubborn. Yeah, it's stubborn. Wow, that hole's actually going to have to be cleared from the other side. That is just an absolutely stubborn hole. Oh, look at that, all the rings in one. I mean, it's a shame because that technique works so well, but some boards like this, I think if they've got excess moisture in, like you're going to risk getting those delaminations. No matter what technique you use, it's picking the safest one, but the one I normally always find works the best is normal hot air low and the desolder pump. But we will, oh, that's why, that's a massive ground plane on the bottom for that one, so we're never going to get that from the top. That's got nothing on to capture. So maybe, yeah, we need to clear all these off from this side because they are all the they're all the massive holes. You're not going to clear them from the top side. Yeah, so I think we'll give the micro hot air another chance. I think finding the right temp will work. This though, to be honest, I'm going to use my regular technique for cleaning these big ones, which is hot air and desolder pump. Let's get these clear. This will clear any hole no matter what. And I could do all the holes like this, but it's a lot more long-winded. And you're applying more heat to the whole board in general when you do this. But this is like your guaranteed clear any hole out solution. So that's the biggies out of the way. Actually, there's more big ones here. We should actually look a bit further. All on the fine. Like I say, I could just go down the whole thing and just do this. You know, like clear an entire one off this way, but I'm trying to use the other techniques, and I like the hot. I still think that micro hot air, with enough practice, is the perfect technique for clearing holes out. It's just got such a different. Actually, that's a ram chip. So that one's the clear one. That's a ram. That one's fine, not too thick. Maybe get them thick ones down there, because on the other side. I'm just trying to basically improve the technique with the micro hot air station. Because like I say, I do think if you've got the technique perfect with enough practice, you could clear the holes in seconds. So I'm just clearing off any of the thick holes for now. So we can start with all the simpler ones, basically. And so that's all the difficult to clear power planes and ground planes. Let's now flip over and let's give this one more go. And if we see any delamination starting on any other one, we'll go back to the other method. So for now, just going to give the board a general warm up again. And then we will go for what's hopefully a fairly rapid and clear out of all these holes. Do. So we're on, I think this temp wasn't too bad, we're on 300, no 350 we're on now, this is, but again this won't correlate to 350 on a big hot air. This is a completely different way of working. Almost time it then, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so if you wait 3 seconds, touch. That kind of works, doesn't it? Clear. Yep, just doesn't look it from this side. So yeah, that's and then you get your nice little splodge underneath. I've got the missus pulling faces at me on the door outside because you can see in. So I don't know why I'm clearing that off from underneath. It's about getting messy again. Let's go for the same thing here. So preheat 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, works on it, I think. And again, this is just more, until you've practiced, this will probably be a different technique for every board as well. But the more you work with it and the more you use this tool, you'd get used to, you know, how every board reacts, and you won't make mistakes. So, for example, no delamination. First one, can't really see, but there's a slight, you know, I could see it was about to start trying to delaminate. So it's like, it's just practice. It's a new tool I've rarely used, but I definitely think there's power in this tool to get good at it, basically. And the only thing you have to watch out for, you can see I'm spraying a bit of solder blobs as well over the board if you don't angle it right down. Or if you go down too soon, it splatters the solder about a bit, so you just got to be aware of that and check that you clean up the board correctly after. That's it. So that's then all the holes cleared, no damage to the board, and super fast, and without wasting any desolder wick. And then all you've got to do is move out of the way, and I've got one pile. It's all stuck together, pretty much. So I think, like I say, practice, that's a pretty good technique to master. I think there's definitely something in that to improve on and be useful. So we've got the holes cleared, we've got the recap done. All I've got to do now really is chuck them chips in tomorrow, which I'm going to have to either look for them or desolder off another Amiga. But I swear I already had them chips. I could have sworn I did, so I'm going to have a look later. And then this, I'll just plug in this DFO. It just literally plugs in over the top of, I think, this one, and build it back up. So there's nothing much to show off there. Oh, whacking that everywhere. So that's pretty much it for this one, guys. I'll just do some cleanup now, then get to Rusty, and I'll carry on tomorrow. I might get up early and do an early stream. I don't know. Let's see. Oh shit! No, I've got my hair tomorrow. Hopefully, should get a haircut tomorrow in the morning. Maybe afternoon. Then we'll see. And then we'll try get to a sub stream this weekend, because the week is nearly gone again. Oh, I can maybe show you that Game Gear. Let me show you that Game Gear Studio thing in a minute before we go. Oh, see, itchy nose. This one is actually from itchiness though. No way, the barber's just texted me as I've said that. Let me see. Oh, to be honest, on the stream I don't look as yellow as on this screen over here, so I've got two screens and both of them are slightly different. So when my hair is, oh no, 10:45, so yeah, I'll probably do an early stream then. That's well late. I normally go get the haircut about 7, so I'll either be on early or I'll be on maybe in the afternoon. Clear this one. Oh yeah, that guy who said I loved your hair, yeah. Yeah, now on this other screen, I literally look, the whole scene looks jaundiced. So I've got an actual monitor over there that's too yellow. I've got this screen that I look perfect on, but it doesn't look like any other screen I've got. So I'll look at like that photo on a phone, I think is the safest bet, and then try get the screens looking like that phone screenshot, and then that's what majority of people, will see similar to. That means I've got to tweak my colours all over again. That took forever to get them colours right as well. Right, that's cleaned up. So, see, I don't know that it's changed or not. I don't think. I think if I go to another scene, you lose audio, and I'm not going to bother with the colour for now. I was going to say I could have a quick look at it. Right, so what was I going to show you? Let me get up Rider. Let me see if I've even got the latest code on this machine and if it works. Did I show you some the last time? Can't remember whether I even showed you the studio. I think I did. I think I showed you some of the studio. Game View Studio, pull. Yeah, latest code. So will it build and run? Yeah, I think it's we've had 2 days of snow so far. Yeah, cool. Save right then. Let me go over to there. Minimize that. I won't show you the code because it's not open source. Like, I'm not bothering open source this. I'm actually going to sell it and make some money for once. I'll just be selling this for like a tenner or something for a year's, well, effectively a tenner for whatever version's out at the time. And then if you want to upgrade in a year or something, I'll give you free upgrades for a year. Do something to make some money back because no one pays me for anything I do free. So what I've been working on is a lot of it for the last few days. I suppose we should start here. Basically, you can make a game. So we go to the home page, save, why not? You can make all these projects, still working on it all. Or you can open a project, which has got a GG Studio project. And then in the game here, there's nothing except which screen you go to at the minute. I haven't like fleshed any of that out yet. Scenes. So we've got the boot screen, which you can test animation, how it would animate in and out, like this. And we can, I think I've got settings for mouse. Yeah, so I've got input device. If you're using a trackpad or a mouse, it's different how you zoom in and out and stuff. This has actually got the Logitech crazy over fast scroll as well. Let me just quickly change that. But you can see you've got a boot screen here and you've got a level here. And this at the minute just has a character in. And then you can see there's nothing there. All the code I wrote for that. Let me just change my scroll wheel a minute to single click. Mac, mouse, scrolling speed 1, maybe. Nope, that's not it. I knew it wasn't the Mac one. Something about lines in the Logitech software, isn't it? Point scroll wheel, there we go. Scrolling speed 0. Is that it? Nope. Why have I got super fast? Scrolling. Smart shift. Or is this not saving? Smooth scroll. Nope, that's even worse. God knows, this Logitech mouse has got zooming crazy. I'll figure that out after. Right, so this page just, that's actually going to be really annoying because I need to kind of zoom, and this Logitech mouse wheel has got some crazy, stupid zoom thing going on with the wheel. But yeah, there's the scenes on that one. And then level designer, am I going to have the same issue? Yes, I am. Wicked. So I'm going to have to solve this stupid Logitech mouse. I've been meaning to do it for a while. Turn that down. Advanced, maybe. Pointer acceleration. No. Is that any better? No. Sometimes I hate Logitech. They have an option where they try to override the wheel. I've got a mouse thing running on Mac. I think I have, you know. I think I've got I've got a thing running on Mac that overrides the mouse. What's this even called? Moss I've got running to try and make the mouse smoother, but that's messing up the mouse completely. Does that fix it now? Yeah, so it's something to do with this Moss because it's really overriding these. Yeah, I've got so many things going on with the mouse wheel on this Mac. That'll do for now. I can just about use it. So we've got a level here. We got so this is the level designer that is the idea that we can actually make a level, and have like collisions, which would typically be, like the level like this, but I've been messing around with it. So you can fill that in, and that will be where Rusty can walk. You can then like, how do I delete? Erase. There we go. Like delete your mistakes, like that one. I've been clicking around here at some point. But yeah, basic level designer with tiles. I've added a separate layer here. That's the new thing, where we can now do loads of things. So this has taken me ages to do, but got the cursor. You can, or apparently you can't. Mini raise mode. Draw. You can like draw shapes, so you can set colors up, which isn't that useful in a level designer. But the point of this is, I can then make a sprite myself directly in here and then turn it into things. So if I wanted to say, I want some clouds around here, I could like select the brush, select a circle, make the size small, and then maybe even show the grid and kind of have a go at drawing a cloud like this, and then get like the fill tool, fill it in, and sort of see, oh yeah, that's a shit cloud. Or I can move it about, place it in. I can do the scatter effect, so I can like turn things into as if they've been destroyed by Thanos, do all sorts. So making all these tools, basically, lines, got all shapes, swirls with different settings, freeform, so you can draw a shape, let go. You've got outline tool, so you can like add an outline to things. If you forgot to add an outline, you can do that, add and remove outlines. You can upload images. You can paste from the clipboard. So say I go to, let me open up a file. I'm on the wrong screen. I'm clicking my stream. It's opened up over here. There we go. And grab that. Well, that's confusing. Go to, I don't know. We'll have to open up Rusty. Let me go onto my photos and get a picture of Rusty. It's the only official test we can use. Let's see him on his walk. So this is him on his walk. So I close that. I can literally just say, I want a picture of Rusty. I'll screenshot his face. And then I can just come into here, select everything else, delete, paste in, and there's Rusty. So he's now in the game. We can drag him around, resize him, and we can have like a pixel Rusty. You can like do that. Click away, and now we've got Rusty in the game. And you could then erase, like say, the edges. I think I've got a free select tool as well. So you could like come in like Photoshop, free select around like there, say, and then delete. Just basically trying to add all these tools so that you can design stuff in here, but using all the modern tools like copying and pasting files in and editing and stuff. So that's a lot of what my time's been spent doing, is this kind of ability to edit things and like type as well. So click in here, Rusty, and then we can change the font to like slightly bigger or fits on a grid. You can make it bigger. You can actually change the color. Oh, got if I could click right. Oh, geez, that's slow. Oh, I think that's a bug. Whoa, yeah. Wow, that's, oh, I know why. I automatically fill this with all the colors that are in the level. It's picked up every color in Rusty and populated it in a in the pre-made colors. So I need to fix that. But yeah, you can select a color for the font, drag it around, press enter, and then we can go destroy. You can even get Rusty. So there's all that. Then we now have images, of course, Rusty again, splash screen. You can toggle the full color image, and you can change it to the Game Gear's color. Release date, I'm just working on it casually at nights. when it's at a point it's useful for people, I'll release it. So this is a Rusty. I think I drew this Rusty here. And then there's something called Pixel Lab that you can put in and tell it to do a rotation. And it did a pretty good job. Then I had to tweak his tail. His tail wasn't right, so I remade the tail. Changed the eyes, filled them in. But it did a good job at giving me like the good outline of a rotation. And then we've got the walking one, which again, you're going to hover over. And you've got then these tiles. This is the next thing I've been working on. So at the minute, there's tiles that I've already got. So these are the level tiles. You can kind of hover over them as well. This is just a PNG. This thing here you're seeing is just a PNG. But you can tell it what size the tile should be. So they're meant to be 24. Looks like I broke that as well. Oh no, there you go. So see how it resizes the tiles and recalculates where they are. Do 32, 32. Then these tiles change to be much larger. Whereas this one we want to be 16 by 16. And it updates to slice it up. But now you can do, say, a new tile, create, set the size, and then we can design in here now. This is what I wanted to do, kind of draw it and design it. So one thing I wanted to do was the health bar for Rusty, which I think I posted in Discord, which I haven't got on this machine. I think it's on the laptop. Oh yeah, R-Type with Rusty. That's got to be a thing. It can be just a floating head that shoots. Right, where's Discord? Updating. Let me see if in the game dev. So on here, we have further up somewhere. I started to design this, the health bar in Bones, but then I realised I don't want to be using like another piece of software. I'd like to be able to create this directly in the Game Gear Studio. So the idea was, I know this isn't the file, I've got the Pixel Perfect file, but the idea would be I'd just import this file straight into here. I'd come into edit mode on this and I'd paste in like this, and it would be whatever size it should be. I don't know what size it'd be, say like this. And then I'd be able to get the selection tool, lock to grid, I think I've just done somewhere. Where's my snap to grid option? Oh, I think I've lost it. Yeah, I've been doing some code change. I added a snap to grid option somewhere and I've somehow lost it. I think it was meant to be in here. Yeah, and I've lost the snap to grid thing. Typical. So anyway, you'd have a snap to grid and I could quickly select, say that was the full grid size, which to be honest, I can just turn that on. Say that was the full grid. I'd just drag around there. Or like say this centerpiece here, we could move him out of the way. Get the next tile piece there, copy it, paste it, drag it over, you know, and like construct your tile set in here as we're going. And then if you come out of edit mode, it makes the tiles for you in here. So now we've got all the tiles for the Bones. So what I was trying to get to was being able to fully design all the artwork directly in here. And then after that, we could set the tile width and height to the correct thing, convert it to a sprite then, and have an animated, what it to be as every section of the animation then would be part of the progress bar, the health bar going up. And then I could add this into here, add another level called HUD maybe, because it can be fairly common, and add the health bar up here. So that's what I'm up to. At the minute though, it's mostly, I'm working on this kind of very advanced toolbar with all these features to draw things and be able to, you know, edit and pick colors and make sprites in the game. And then I'll get back to doing this actual, this level. And then what we'll have is map this level in with the real game. Whereas at the minute, if we press play, you'll find that this level is just generated in code behind. The Game Boy Studio people, this is where it started. Somebody wanted to add Game Gear to Game Boy Studio and no one was really bothered. So I decided a few days ago, I'll just make one, but for Game Gear. So obviously this is designed entirely for Game Gear. So it's a lot different and it's going to be a hell of a lot more powerful. So if we reset that, you can see now it supports the animation. So that's what we select in the scenes, and then it will swipe out, and then Rusty loads in. And now we have a walking, zooming Rusty with some basic platforms. So I just wrote the code that just dumps these kind of fake ground levels and things in. So this is all hard coded, but then the next step is to, instead of hard coding it, use this level map now, this tile map I've had design to put it in. Note there's no UI toolkit I'm using. This is literally the code I'm writing. So I am writing the UI code, if you will. So this entire thing is just a skier canvas. So I've done absolutely everything on this. The tile system I've designed, all these menus, the color pickers, just Avalonia and C# and a lot of work, basically. So everything you see here, I've made. This entire level map designer, the idea behind it, these layers, the collisions, everything is literally coded from scratch. So this entire thing is written from nothing. There's no shared libraries. There's no open source stuff. This is all what I've written, basically. So yeah, next step is do that. But you can see, like, say this animation here. You can go to animation. On fading, you could have, say, fade to color, maybe on red. See, like, fades red. And then on the fade out, you could say, I don't know, swipe from top and then play the animation. And if we compile that, and if I've supported all them modes, which I think I did, this should then work on the real Game Gear and show you that exact animation. So at least, like, the scenes and the swapping and stuff work. And then the big stopping point was making all this level designer, which is a big job. So it's half off the screen. Let's restart that. So fades in from red. And then it should swipe down, I think it was. Yep, so that animation works, basically. So yeah, that's it, really. So I better go now, have tea, and see Rusty. Oh, I've got messages 2 minutes ago from the missus. What's this? Oh shit, yeah, she needs rice. When is rice being done? Now, right, that's it then, guys. I will catch you in the next few days, I'm sure. Cartoon me, yeah, I could be. I could be lying down. I could be like the end boss. He's trying to get to me or something. Yep, have a good afternoon, guys. Or evening now, is it? No, we're still just in the afternoon.